Hello once again, and welcome back to, Oracle of Ages. Yes, indeed. We are particularly right now in the Spirit's Grave. This is rather ominous, the eyes here. As I recall, this place isn't really too difficult. It's pretty straightforward as far as puzzles are concerned. I don't think we can do anything in here. So, it is a good place to keep in mind for later. Oh, I wonder if we'll have the ability to move these things. Let's see what we got here. Ah yes, these are larger versions of the red guys that we saw earlier. Ow! And as you can tell, unlike the guys that we saw earlier, the larger ones can actually hurt you. So, it's good to get them out of the way sooner, or as soon as possible. Ah, and this will be probably the cause of much trouble in the future, but these blocks here have different colors depending on which side is facing up. In this particular case, it's easy because it gives you the solution right away, in which the solution is blue. Oh, hey, dungeon map. I know how this place looks. We don't really need that. But yeah, these block puzzles can probably become a huge problem in the future. Anyway, go back down there, push that in the correct slot. I kind of wish it would stay on its actual solved state. I believe we want to go right. There we go. That's one way to defeat a Stalfos. I believe they're Stalfos. Can we hurt you at all? Can we move you at all? Shovel doesn't work. Fire, how about fire? Okay, so you're just a prop. At least as far as I remember. Now the true solution is defeating the ghost here. Apparently we only need to defeat one. Again, fairly straightforward dungeon. I want whatever's in there. As long as you don't leave the doorway, the door shouldn't close on you, so... Aha! A compass. You can use that to locate, There we go. What's this? I don't remember this room, actually. Let's see what this room has to offer. For our efforts, we get a treasure. Probably money. Oh, a ring! Oh, sweet! I forgot that was there. Oh, I bet that'll be useful. I put a smile on my face, I have to confess. You know that satisfaction of a Zelda game when you discover something that's out of the beaten path? Yeah. Alright, and that's useful. You know, in particular with this game, no, I should probably word this a bit better. You know how certain games remind you of certain things in the past? Like if you were perhaps playing Mario 64 in the early 90s, mid-90s when it was released, you often associate the game with whatever was occurring to you at the time. Well, when I was playing this game for the first time, I recall being amongst certain friends that I no longer know. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what the feeling's like when you have a friend, but you lose that friend simply because of time. You lose touch. Well, this game particularly reminds me of those friends. That might be one particular reason why I hold this game in such high regard. Ah, crap. But that's clearly not the only reason that this game works. That's simply not for nostalgia value. There we go. These particular friends that I knew lived at a beach, and every year, continuously for a good while, we would go to that beach and go hang out with them for like a week. So admittedly, we didn't know them too well, or I didn't know them well, that's a short way back, I guess. I didn't know them too well. A couple of twins that I remember from the beach. I might not want to say their names just in case. So it was a bunch of twins, some local kids. We only saw them once a year for a week or so, but it was still pretty nice to meet them. Does this actually accomplish anything, being here? Yes, yes, it does. So, playing this game reminds me of them, and it reminds me of, that beach. Ah, crap. I can't go back to that beach anymore, because the beach house that my family owned there was actually sold. Rather unfortunately, family dispute. Yes, it was in fact sold, and rather unfortunately after it was sold, just to pin the nail in the coffin, the beach house also was hit by a flood. The entire beach was, in fact, and the house was destroyed. They later built the beach house. What crap! Well, I'm going back then. Yeah, those are wall masters, by the way. If you get poked by them, you get sent away. So the beach house was destroyed and later rebuilt, but into a different house. So the house that I knew back then no longer exists. So really, this game represents things that have been lost to me in time. So playing through certain parts of this game sort of invokes a bunch of warm, fuzzy feelings, and a little bit of regret. But that's just the nostalgia that's attached to this particular game for me. And I suppose rather fittingly so, too, because traveling into the past and experiencing nostalgia is part of what this game's about. I'm sure you guys also have played your own games in which you've associated things that occur in the game with things in your past. And I'm interested to hear what those things might happen to be. Did I? I already forget if I've solved the puzzle to this room. Did I already do that? Oh no, I guess I didn't. Well, I'm an idiot. Aha! That'll be useful for later on, I imagine. Good thing I died and not died. It's a good thing I came back here. Yes, it was not death that grabbed me, it was a wall master. Anyway, with the obvious path ahead of us, let's give this a shot. Admittedly, I'm not feeling too good coming out here with just 2 hearts, but we'll see what happens. Sword in hand. Ah. There we go, sword in hand. That doesn't even matter. So yes, this is a ghost... Ah! This is really simple, boss. All I have to do is poke him enough with the sword and he dies. Whoop! Oh hey, what I just walked into right now accidentally is a portal. So in case you wind up back at the start of the dungeon but with the wall masters, or if you die, or if you decide to stop playing the game for a little while, this warp point will help you get back over here. So that's a unique, I don't know, I forget if Link's Awakening did that too, but it's present here and that's important. Or at the very least it's helpful. Wow, I'm getting a lot of money actually. I don't remember having this much money at the start of the game, when I was playing this game originally. But then again, we all grow as gamers, so I don't think there's anything else in here. We all grow as gamers, and one thing that we learn to do better is survive and farm for money more. I think when I was a kid I had like maybe 30 rupees in here. Then again, I was at a beach. I wasn't exactly preoccupied with being the best that I could be, as opposed to simply having fun. Indeed it is, Link. Ow! So we go down here and we retrieve a brand new item. But what could this be? This is the power bracelet. If you hold the button and press, I believe, down to lift heavy objects, it depends on where you are. If you're in a 2D environment like this, then I believe you hold it opposite of which direction you're facing. And if you're in the 3D environment, you just hold down, like this. Actually, I can't really demonstrate this to you thoroughly, but you'll have to take my word for it. I believe this mechanic is also in Seasons and really any 2D Zelda game. But this opens up a lot of possibilities because we can lift all sorts of things like grass. We can lift rocks as well. So really, This offers a bunch of unique possibilities, or at the very least it gives us options to progress the game in ways that we couldn't access ordinarily. Oh, hey! Sweet! I can't get get these Rings of Praise. That was one of my favorite parts of the game too, getting the rings. Because I was always so curious to see... Ah, crap! I screwed myself over. I was always curious to see what that would be like. So it adds a nice treasure hunt element to the game. There we go. Now that we have the power bracelet, we can push these blocks aside, push these vases aside too. So that's an entirely different puzzle element that we have readily in store for us. There we go. Importantly, over here we have, I believe it. Yep, the boss key. So now we can face the dungeon's boss and proceed with the adventure. Now, if I recall, the dungeon's boss is just up ahead this way. We have to be careful not to be poked by the wall masters. Usually you can avoid that by traveling left or right constantly, if you can help it. They still spawn despite the fact that let's not risk it. Let's just get you out of the way and then quickly go through here. Whoop! Yep, don't want to risk that. Ooh, yes. And the first boss of the game is Pumpkinhead here. I believe in order to defeat him, you have to wait for him to stop doing that. Let's see. Then if you keep swinging with the sword, you can pick up his head and throw it back at him. Like that. Kind of a creepy way to kill somebody. So you dismember their body, and then... Oh god! You dismember their body, and then you destroy their body, and then take their head, and then use their severed head to destroy their soul. Oh, that wasn't too hard. So really, when you think about it, that's a pretty dark way to defeat a boss. Anyway, for our efforts, we receive the Eternal Spirit, an essence of time. Even after life ends, it speaks across time to the heart. Really, that could speak the same for memory in general. Even after an event has already passed, it still holds weight on you. What on earth are those? What the... Oh, hi, Maker Tree. What were those things that flew across my face? Ah. So now that we've done that, we can access the Western Woods, courtesy of our, grabby bracelet here. Oh, yes, this is also important. This right here is a minigame that we can access by running into her. Yes. It doesn't look like she's dropped anything right now. That's good. But Maple right here is, a character... She's a witch, and if you run into her, she'll drop her items, but you'll drop your items too. And we begin a race to collect the various items that we've gathered. Unfortunately, she's appearing in front of the text box, so... Every time we run into her, which will be every so often in the game, you can have an item collect-a-thon, which will allow you to collect things that maybe you wouldn't already have. It looks like we've dropped nothing but money. Oh, and she wants a book too, but we don't have that book. So let's see... I didn't do too well in that particular version. But sometimes she'll drop potions, or she'll drop, rings, or seeds. So if she ever drops those when we meet her, that's an important target to go, get. Okay, so this ghost needs some help. We're supposed to push the gravestone out of the way and go meet him down here. Or her, actually. Could be her. Not a problem. You know, that invokes a new stage of Nightmare feel right there. If tombstones actually block spirits from going to the afterlife, then perhaps tombs are prisons as opposed to actual... Anyway. For our efforts, we receive a Poe Clock. Now, that's actually kind of a cool item if you think about it. I wouldn't mind having a Poe Clock. But there's somebody that we've met earlier who actually needs a clock, and you might remember who that is. So the next time we see that character, we'll be sure to give him that item. And hopefully that'll be sooner rather than later. Anyway, now that we've done that, I want to go down here for a moment to check and see if that tree's grown yet. Has it? I don't recall if the tree's grown. Oh, yes, they do. We got a Gasha nut. Let's check what's inside. Oh, a ring! Oh, I love it when you get rings in this game. It's such a satisfying experience. Let's see, does that area grow back? Yes, it does. Hey, we've gotten seeds quite recently as well, so maybe I should go... Oh, hey, a piece of heart. Right, of course. We are now one heart away from having another heart container, which will be very useful to our adventure. But more importantly... No, I can't tell how many seeds we have, but... Let's plant this one again here, and be sure to come back here. I'm not sure if it gives you the same reward or not, but I suppose it's worth investigating. So we'll come back here a little while later and see how well that's doing. Okay. Now then, now that we've done that, we're supposed to go to the west, I believe, is what the Maker Tree said, in order to continue our adventure. So let's do just that, but before we do, let's get our rings appraised. Because I really want to see what we've received out of all of our adventuring here. Let's appraise our rings. We've got 3 rings, so let's see if there's anything particularly useful here. The Power Ring, level 1. Sword damage up, sword damage taken up. I see. So that's a bit of a risk. Call this the Discovery Ring. Send soft dirt nearby. That sounds useful. And you are? The Cursed Ring. Have sword damage taken... Half sword damage... Why would anyone want to wear that? Did that ring happen because of the fact that, the tree was planted in the graveyard? Is that why? Let's see. Oops! That's not what I want. I want to go to the, list here. And I think we will equip the Power Ring level 1. That seems like that'll be the most practical at this point. And I'm now wearing the Power Ring level 1. We'll probably see ourselves taking a bit more damage, but that's okay. We'll just have to get hearts to counteract that. Oh, looks like there's a snake in there. That's cute. No. I believe that involves linking. And we can't access that, because I don't have anyone to link to. And the Red Snake offers tutorials, but we already know things. One thing that I really like about this game is the fact that they have animals that talk too, and I suppose that's commonplace. Not to mention adorable. Why am I doing this? I don't know why I'm shoveling here. Let's see, is there anything else in town I want to do before I head out? I can't think of anything. Oh, hey, mermaid statue again. Oh, I suppose we could check on Lance. We'll see if he's doing any differently. I do too, but you probably don't want to be like me. Well, not exactly the healthiest person in the world. As I recall, we planted a tree in the past, too, so we'll have to see what that's about later. But we can't go into the past right now. We'll have to investigate it when the time becomes available. Over here is the way to proceed with the game. More overworld here. Now that we have this, is that a... What's that all about? That sort of black spot in front of us. I don't know. Ow! Well, it claimed it would do more damage to us, but I just received a quarter of a heart, so that's not too bad. Anyway, we'll proceed onward toward neither of those locations, but we're going to go this way for now, in the next part of the adventure. So until then, everyone, stay tuned and good night.